right. They had another ridiculous cabinet meeting where everybody has to sit around and tell Mr. Pudding Brain, Mr. Pudding Boy, Cankles McTaco Tits that, you're so great, best president ever, etc. It's the same rinse and repeat of all of the other cabinet meetings. He's talking about his decorating projects, etc. So I'm just trying to kind of pull out some stuff that I think is rather interesting. You probably noticed that J.D. Vance is nowhere to be found. This is a chronically online, telling everybody needs to go say thank you to him and President Trump. And Zelensky needs to say thank you. He won't shut up, J.D. Vance. Well, he has been eerily quiet. And we know from reporting that Witkoff and Kushner are really the point people on this war. But the last week, Pumps, he is really laying it on Hegseth. And this humiliation ritual that he keeps engaging in with Hegseth is now on day 3 or 4. And it's abundantly obvious to me that he is laying the groundwork for Pete Hegseth to take the fall and the blame for anything with this war. So this was an interesting tidbit, a classic authoritarian humiliation ritual in the cabinet meeting. Play the clip.
Hegseth, who was born for this role. I mean, he's doing a great job. They gave him a hard time. And now people, I'll tell you, somebody came up to me yesterday, gave you a very hard time, said, I made a mistake. Pete Hegseth is doing a good job. So when I tell you who, you're not even going to believe it. He said, Hegseth, he gave you such a nasty hard time. But you're doing great.
Okay. He just eviscerated him. Mm-hmm. Absolutely on purpose, humiliation ritual. You saw Pete's face at the end. Kylie, let's pull that up. He is laying the groundwork because he's not going to let Witkoff look at Pete.
Yeah, he knows.
Yeah, and this is a guy who just yesterday was at the Pentagon saying this really crazy Iron Age, hellfire damnation, biblical speech to the Pentagon. And the thing about that is, you guys, if Secretary of Defense, religious, swing for the fences, free country. People in the armed forces have all different types of religions. Some might be Buddhist, some might be Muslim, some might be Jewish, some might be completely secular, atheist or agnostic. So it's wildly inappropriate. But I do think the humiliation of Pete Hegseth all week long has been remarkable.
Well, and it's been pointed, I think. And we remember before he got rid of Kristi Noem, he started, you started hearing rumors and circulation. And she said she felt hung out to dry, which I'm just like, has nobody paid attention to this man? So Pete Hegseth is next. Mm-hmm. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy because he is the lowest of all lows. And here's what irritates me about Pete Hegseth. He stands up there on the Pentagon stage, hellfire damnation, and then says the reason they have to attack, the United States has to attack Iran is because of their religion, their religious zealots. I'm like, bitch, look in the mirror, but I can't wait for it. But the question, and you've always made this point, who is behind Pete Hegseth? Like, who is even lower than Pete Hegseth? That's terrifying.
What do you mean, who's lower?
Like the B team of Pete Hegseth is the A team.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's Kristi Noem, if it's Mark Wayne Mullen. Stephen Miller's running DHS. The same with the Pentagon. It doesn't matter if it's Pete Hegseth or if it's a dead pig. Witkoff and Kushner are running it. So we keep accrediting these people with the agency over their agencies, and that has been removed from them. There is no separation of an independent Justice Department, a Pentagon. There's none of that. That is gone. That America is over. So it doesn't matter who he puts in there. Witkoff and Kushner, by all accounts, foreign intelligence and our own intelligence, reporting all around the globe. Those two run the Pentagon. And now let's move on to Pumps was just talking about religious fanaticism. Here is J.D. Vance delivering a message to Christian soldiers before he sends them out to war. Play the clip.
Over to Marco is, I'm very mindful, of course, that we have a lot of folks overseas fighting very ably for the United States of America. And Pete and the whole team, we're very proud of them. But they're fighting at a time where we are about to enter as Christians the most important week of the Christian calendar, the Holy Week that celebrates the return of Jesus Christ to Jerusalem. And so I want to say to all of my fellow American Christians, but particularly those serving in the Gulf, that I wish you all a very blessed Easter, a very blessed Holy Week, and we continue to stand behind you and continue to support you every step of the way.
Okay. First of all, go back to that last clip. Look at Scott Bessent, that old queen sitting there, and he's just like, oh God, these Bible thumpers. Look at him. This is like a New York hedge fund guy. Just his number one ethos is greed, greed, greed. And he's sitting there next to him. So this is really all we've heard of J.D. Vance in quite some time. And this is what I have coined Christian signaling. They know this war is unpopular. They know that it will kill thousands, however many they send over. There's going to be mass casualties if they send troops on the ground. I read an article just before hopping on here to stream that Iran has a military ground forces that they're prepped 1 million people, 1 million. So if they do invade via ground, it will be a Vietnam style bloodbath. And they are Christian signaling throughout this entire war to keep the base that this is the holy war. This is Armageddon. It has, all the Jews need to be in Israel so that Jesus can come back and rapture everybody, which if you're like me, I'm like, get it on already. Take them.
See ya.
Jesus, take them. But I thought that was pretty interesting from J.D. Vance, and as Pumps points out all the time, and we can't say this enough, this guy has changed his name 3 times and his religion 3 times. So right now he's like a follower of Catholicism, a la the school of Peter Thiel, who does the side hustle speaker talks on the Antichrist.
Well, and let's not forget, he's a very new Catholic, and the Pope has come out publicly against this administration. So like J.D. Vance, I don't feel blessed. I feel like you are a chameleon that gives 0 shits about anything but your political future.
All right. And then Lindsey Graham, Lady Graham, has come out to South Carolina. And I'm not talking about out of the closet. I mean, she showed up. I'm sorry. He showed up in South Carolina to speak to his constituents. And here's what happened.
Thank y'all for coming.
All right. So it's 6 straight minutes of Lady Graham getting booed. And this is what's so important for everybody to remember right now when you get overwhelmed by all of this. This shit is not popular. It's big in the 30% that support this movement, and it's their whole world. It is like their whole reason to be. But you get outside of this Twitter circle or the corporate news, and this shit is wildly unpopular. Nobody likes Lady Graham. Nobody likes Donald Trump. Nobody likes Ted Cruz. Nobody really likes J.D. Vance. And they have all of the oligarchs in their pocket that are able to boost these posts via rigging the algorithms or via a sophisticated network of bot farms to give us the appearance that it's popular. But it's not. And you remember when all of these Republicans were going home for town halls, they don't do it anymore. Do you remember how they were just getting eviscerated? Yeah. Well, that was months ago. Think about how much worse it is now. Inflation is worse. Gas prices are worse. I can't believe I didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, started a war with Iran, which the American public does not like pointless wars in the Middle East.
Well, and also I was reading an article, like Lady Graham is in trouble in South Carolina. In this article, he was underwater 19 points with independents. That's pretty stunning for a guy that's been in there for decades.
That's really, I mean, yeah, he's got some issues.
I would love it so much.
You know what I would love, fantasy? Like I would love like a live feed if Lindsey Graham lost, Ted Cruz, just some of the most hated, and you could just watch them just realize like, oh shit,
it's over.
It's over. It is over. Okay. Now a little bit lighter news. A walk signal in Denver was hacked recently. And here's what happened. Play the clip.
Murders children. The walk signal is on. Fuck Trump. The walk signal is on. Trump murders children. The walk signal is on.
I mean, not all heroes wear capes. That is fantastic. And again, yet another reminder that all of the high-fiving and the circle jerk board meetings, cabinet meetings, and all the crazy tweets and all the sane washing from corporate media to try to provide cover about the dementia, the illegal war, the floundering economy, this shit is not popular. It is simply not popular. And then lastly, Fox News releases a new poll on Trump's, Kylie wrote this up where she put disapproval. Overall, 41. There's actually some reporting. I believe it's Reuters that came out that he's at 36.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so foreign policy at 38, Iran at 36. I think these 36 numbers, that is the base. That is the cult base. Yeah. These are the triple Trumpers that will never move. They will quadruple Trump if they get the chance.
Well, and you just think, I mean, he's seeing those polls. He knows he's seeing those polls. And I also read an article that he can't understand why everybody's mad about the war. He just thinks it's the best idea in the world. It's like, because CNN tells him it's 100% popular. You know what I mean? Like nobody has been done any favors by hiding the truth from this man. And I can't wait for the truth socials about how Fox News sucks and everybody sucks. He's just a man titty baby. That's all there is to it. He needs to be in a nursing home, in a padded cell with a lock nursing home.
Yeah, he really does. But here's the thing that we have to focus on, listener and Pumps. He's old. It's abundantly obvious. I mean, it could happen any day. And, who knows? He could torture everybody for 10 more years. Who knows? But what he has done to the Republican Party, George W. Bush pretty much sent the Republican Party out to pasture, and they were probably not going to win for a long time. And then Trump came in, completely revamped the entire thing. Think about that. At the RNC convention, they're supposed to announce their platform, what they believe in. And the last one, it was just whatever Trump says.
Right.
And that was it. And so there is an incubation that's taking place in this country where we can attack Trump and we can attack Trump. Easy to hate Mark Zuckerberg. I just saw a poll that he's underwater like minus 50 something. Easy to hate Elon Musk. Easy to hate all of these oligarchs that are dismantling American democracy and supporting Trump. That's a layup. We have to really do brand damage to the Republican Party. And when you think about it, that every single time a Republican gets in office, whether they're a proud admitted neocon or a Trojan horse neocon like Donald Trump is, it always ends in this result. They lie to the public. They tell you they're great business people. They tell you they're great with the economy, and then they wreck it. They wreck the lives of working class people. The stock market is always more stable and higher under Democrats. Jobs are better under Democrats. The economy is better under Democrats. Foreign policy is better under Democrats. Yet the Republicans are better messengers.
Right.
They message lies better, and Democrats are always on defense. So yes, all the stuff about Trump, but we're all going to have to start moving our sights to really doing brand damage so that the Tucker Carlsons, the Nick Fuenteses, the Marco Rubios have a very uphill climb to even be able to become the nominees. Because if we are solely focused on Trump, that doesn't address the problem of MAGA policies, Republican policies wrecking the country.
No, I agree with you. And I grew up in a Republican family. They're still MAGA. I remember all the points that you brought up. The messaging on that when I was growing up was Republicans are better with the economy, stronger on foreign policy. All of the tropes, they have been going on my entire life.
And people believe, and they, despite living through the dismantling that Republicans always do, that's another huge lie that they're so great with foreign policy. Look at the Iraq War. That was a foreign policy disaster. They lied. They cooked the books. They said that there was yellow cake and there wasn't. They went to the United Nations and lied about it. And then George W. Bush gets on that ship and it's like declares victory. And it was a fucking quagmire beyond all imaginable. Trillions of dollars that Republicans spend on these wars that benefit the United States zero, destabilize regions, which then create the need for people to migrate or flee, et cetera. And the Democrats should be hammering this shit all the time. We need to do brand damage to these people. Now, I don't think anybody that triple trumped, those people are brainwashed. They're never, ever, ever going to vote for a Democrat. However, I think that independent people or people that aren't that overtly political but happen to vote in general elections, if the Democrats can start playing offense, and what a layup it is to be offensive against these people, I think we could really do generational brand damage because the data and the facts are on our side.